Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be doing another top 5 for you. This time, top 5 characters that should be in the DC Extended Universe. So, we've honestly had a fairly limited amount of characters in the DC Extended Universe, just because there's been like, I want to say about 10 movies, maybe even a little less than that. So, meanwhile, Marvel has, more than 20 movies. Is going to be, by the end of this year, they're going to be closer to 30 movies than 20. So, today I thought, you know what, let's talk about some characters that should be in the DC Extended Universe. Now, in this list, I have limited it to superheroes. Maybe someday I'll make a list talking about villains that should be in the DC Extended Universe. But right now, I'm talking mainly about superheroes. A couple of these are more anti-heroes slash villains, but it's mostly heroes. So, let's talk about these characters. So, at number 5, I have the only one that's like really debatably a hero, and that is Deathstroke. He is kind of an anti-hero in some comics, so I thought I'd put him on this list. Now, a lot of you are probably confused because Deathstroke is in the DC Extended Universe, but he only appeared very briefly. He appeared in the post-credit scene of Justice League. And let me tell you a little bit about the history of this character in the DC Extended Universe. He was originally supposed to be a supporting character in Justice League. Maybe he would have shown up in this Justice League sequels, we don't know. But that mid-credit scene was originally supposed to lead into him being the main villain of The Batman, when it was a Ben Affleck movie, in the DC Extended Universe. And then that would have led into a Deathstroke solo movie. So apparently a lot was planned for the character, but then when Joss Whedon took over the movie, pretty much all of his role in the movie was cut out except for that post-credit scene, which ended up being reshot, so that instead of setting up the Batman, it set up a potential Justice League 2 with the Legion of Doom, which also never happened. So far, Deathstroke has only showed up in that one mid-credit scene, but Joe Manganiello is a great actor. I think him as Deathstroke was perfect, and I think he should get another shot at it. I think with Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out this month, it would be a great opportunity to show what that Deathstroke would look like, and maybe after that we get a spin-off, some kind of Deathstroke solo movie. Maybe it's theatrically released, maybe it's an HBO Max movie, maybe it's an HBO Max series, something like that. Maybe it's in the Snyderverse, maybe it's in the DC Extended Universe. I don't think it really matters, but either way, I just want to see more of Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke, and let me know if you do too in the comments below. Alright, at number 4, we have Hitman. So those of you who don't know who Hitman is, he's more of a obscure character. He first appeared in the 90s. He's almost, I guess you could say, he has a bit of a John Constantine vibe to him, and that he's kind of an assassin. He's kind of what the Suicide Squad should have been, and that he's kind of this character that is kind of hero for hire, but more anti-hero for hire. He gets bitten by a Glonth, and he first appeared in the Bloodlines crossover, and he gets bitten by a Glonth, and that triggers a metagene within him that gives him X-ray vision and moderate telepathy, and also as a part of that, it turns his eyes completely black, which is pretty cool. He usually wears sunglasses though. But anyway, after that, he specializes in killing metahumans and supernatural threats. He's very much tied in to the DC universe, and he ends up kind of being in league with the government. The government ends up like hiring him to do all of these different things for them. I could see this being a series. I could see this being a movie franchise. I could see him even if they just decide to add him to the Suicide Squad. I think that could be cool. Speaking of the Suicide Squad, if you stay tuned, subscribe. Tomorrow I'll be doing a video where I fix the 2016 Suicide Squad movie, and as a part of that, you'll learn a little bit more about Hitman, because Hitman is going to be a character I add to the movie, so subscribe for that. But anyway, I think this character could be great because he is kind of what everybody wanted the Suicide Squad to be, which is a character who's kind of an anti-hero that the government uses to do tasks that superheroes wouldn't want to do for moral reasons. And I think this could be really cool. This could be the Constantine of the DC Extended Universe. I know that they're doing that Constantine TV series on HBO Max, but if they want something for the movies, or if Constantine just isn't in the DC Extended Universe, which I could see happening, then I think this is a great option. He's not super supernatural, like, as a character, but he fights supernatural stuff all the time. I really like Hitman, and I want to see him in the DC Extended Universe, plain and simple. Alright, number 3, we have Booster Gold. This is one of, a lot of you probably know who Booster Gold is, but for those of you who don't, he's basically this ex-football player from the future who steals some future tech and goes back in time using his knowledge of the future to become a superhero, to become rich and famous, but it doesn't end up quite working out for him, and he ends up just kind of being a guy who runs around trying to be a superhero. And I think that's really funny, especially since DC is tending to go more towards the darker end of things. I think, like, generally so far they've had family movies and they've had dark movies, you know? And I think this has the potential to be a real DC comedy, like it's just straight up comedy, and I think it could be really great. If they're doing Batman Beyond, they could kind of retcon it so that Booster Gold is from that future, which traditionally he's more on the Legion of Superheroes timeline, I think, or at least in some versions he is. But he could be in the Batman Beyond more future, and then he could steal some tech from Bruce Wayne or something and come back in time, tie him into that reality. I think it could really work, especially since the Blue Beetle movie that's happening, Greg Berlanti and Zach Stentz worked on a script for a Booster Gold and Blue Beetle movie a while ago that's been sitting in DC's vault, and I really hope that Blue Beetle movie leads into that Booster Gold and Blue Beetle movie so that we could see them on screen together, and maybe that'll lead to like a Booster Gold TV show or something like that. That could be really cool. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I really want to see Booster Gold in the DCEU. Alright, coming up at number 2, we have Swamp Thing. I think this is an absolutely fantastic idea. Swamp Thing should definitely be in the DC Extended Universe, just like how I said that DC should be incorporating more than just dark movies and family movies. I think this is a real opportunity to make horror movies in the DC Extended Universe, which makes sense because a lot of the people associated with the DC Extended Universe are like really well-known horror people like James Wan, Walter Hamada, and Andy Muschietti. You know, these are all big horror figures, and I think Swamp Thing is a really great way that they could do that. I mean, think about it like this. Swamp Thing, the TV series, which was executive produced by James Wan, the director of the Aquaman movies, was really well received. Like, DC Universe didn't have the budget to really make it happen. But when that series aired on the CW earlier or later last year, it did great. So obviously, mainstream audiences have room on their plate for Swamp Thing. I think they should have James Wan do the Trench movie that he's wanted to do as an HBO Max movie, and then based on the success of that, they could maybe do a Swamp Thing movie theatrically, and I think it could do really well. It could kind of be the DC Extended Universe's counterpart to Blade in a way, because Blade is going to, presumably at least, be kind of the darker side of the MCU. It's going to be a hard PG-13, but based on its success, and probably also the success of Deadpool 3, which will be an R-rated movie, maybe we'll get R-rated sequels to Blade, which is kind of what I've been predicting. But basically, I think that Swamp Thing could kind of be the DC Extended Universe's version of Blade. It could, if Constantine is in the DC Extended Universe, that has a good opportunity to tie in there. And I think Swamp Thing is really just, it's literally like a target you can't miss. They've got to jump on Swamp Thing right now. It's very clearly the place to go, in my opinion. But number 1, the character I want to see the most in the DC Extended Universe, just for story potential and how I could see churning out in the theaters, is Nightwing. Now, I know this probably would end up crossing hairs with Titans. I understand that. But, I mean, first of all, Titans isn't very well received. Like, Doom Patrol, its spinoff, which isn't even in the same universe, it has been way better received than Titans. And who knows how much longer it's going to go on. It has a third season coming out this year. If Nightwing comes out in 2023, 2024, Titans might be done by then. But anyway, I think that Nightwing is a great opportunity for the DC Extended Universe, and here's why. So, there's been talk that they're doing a Batgirl movie in the DC Extended Universe, which they probably are, but personally, I'd rather have a Nightwing movie. Just because it seems like what J.J. Abrams is doing and the writer for the Superman reboot they're doing, which is probably going to be in the DC Extended Universe, is kind of going to be its own thing that won't have a whole lot of narrative crossover with the rest of the DCEU. So Sasha Calle's Supergirl, which is being introduced in The Flash, will probably be the one that's in a bunch of other people's movies, right? So I think that it would be a little weird to have Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and Batgirl all as like the trinity of the DC Extended Universe, and I think it would mix things up a little bit if instead of having Batgirl, we had Nightwing, and I think that could be really cool. Plus, there's a lot of story potential there. Plus, we haven't really had a great cinematic Dick Grayson. Like, Chris O'Donnell did the best with what he had in the Joel Schumacher movies, and there was obviously Burt Ward, but like that was like a comedic take on it. We need a live-action, darker, really good take on Dick Grayson, I think. And since we're not going to have an active Batman in the DCEU, this is what we should go with. Now, in Batman v Superman, that Robin was supposedly, according to Zack Snyder, the dead Robin is supposed to be Dick Grayson, but a bunch of other people have been saying it's Jason Todd. So here's kind of how I would do it. So Dick Grayson didn't die. He became Nightwing, that kind of thing. And then I think that the Jared Leto Joker would work really well as a Nightwing villain. I think that Joker would much better share the screen with a Nightwing, being a more youthful Joker, sorry about that, than he would with Batman, personally. And I think it would also work, there's been this theory going around that the Jared Leto Joker is actually Jason Todd. And I think it would be really cool if maybe, sure, it's been alluded to that Jason Todd was killed by Joker. But what if, instead of that necessarily, it was more Jason Todd was killed by the birth of Joker, and that Jason Todd became Joker. Maybe there was a Joker before him, but then he became the second Joker, something like that if you really wanted to go that way. And he ended up becoming the new Joker, and that would make sense for narrative-wise for the Jared Leto Joker to hate Dick Grayson because, in the comics, the reason the Jason Todd Joker doesn't work out is, in a way at least, indirectly, but is kind of in a way because he doesn't really live up to Dick Grayson. And so Jared Leto's Joker, being Jason Todd, could go, the reason I am the way I am is because I couldn't live up to who you were, Dick Grayson, and so now I'm going to destroy you to show Batman that I am the superior Joker, even though Batman's not really there by that point. But I think that would be a great movie. I really want to see it. Do you want to see Nightwing in the DC Extended Universe? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about all these characters? Do you have any characters that you want to see in the DC Extended Universe? Let me know all those things in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for daily videos on the franchises you love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.